In this screencast, I'm going to show you how you can use Google fonts on your website. So by default, Seller just sets you up with the basic web-safe fonts. We're looking here, this is the Seller Demo store at sellerdemo.com. And I think this is just using like Verdana, which is a really standard web-safe font. But you can use any of Google's fonts as well. So let's see how you do that now. If I go to the admin system, this is at website, edit your website. Then you just click on Google Fonts. And on this page here, you're going to paste in the fonts you want to use, just the names of the fonts. And there's a link up here that says click here to see all the fonts you can use. And if you click on that, there's absolutely loads and all sorts of different sizes and that kind of thing. So you can just browse through the Google fonts list. I particularly like the handwriting ones. So if I just get rid of the other ones. I like these kind of scripty ones, but have a look through and find some fonts that you like. And then all you do is you paste the names into here. You can have up to 5, but don't add any that you're not going to use, because every time you add one, it's going to have to import that onto your website on every web page. And that if you have loads of them, then that can slow down your loading time, the page loading time. So just add fonts on there that you're actually going to use. But you can have up to 5. And then once you've done that, click on Save. So I'm just going to paste in the fonts I'm going to use. So there we go. We've got some that I've chosen there, starting with Dancing Script. So I've just pasted those in, and if I click on Save, that's saved that. So now what we want to do is go into edit mode, and let's see how we can actually use these fonts. So this is the site as you've already seen it. Let's say I wanted to change this shop action cameras there to a sort of scripty font. Firstly, I actually need to switch off the hyperlinks. There we go, and then click on the text I want to change. Just highlight it all, and from the fonts drop down, I will choose this one here, Dancing Script. In fact, I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Let's have it 2. No, let's have it 1.5. There we go, and then click on Save Changes. So, I mean, that makes a difference already, you can see. So if I go back into preview mode and refresh that, you'll see it gives a nice kind of scripty feel to it. But look, you might want to change all of the fonts on the page, in which case you want to change what's called the base font. So if I go back into edit mode, you just click on this cog icon at the top left. And in there you'll see the base font. There's a list that you can choose from. And in that drop down will be the ones that you've added. So let's add Source Code Pro for this one. So if I click on that and then Save Changes, yeah, the page will refresh. And you can see, look at that, that already, that looks completely different, and it's more of a kind of, almost like a typewriter, isn't it? A kind of more modern font. And again, if I look at the actual live website, you need to refresh that. You'll see already that can make a huge difference, So that's how you add Google Fonts to your website. It works in the blog system, and anywhere you can edit text and that kind of thing. One thing to note is that Google fonts are account level fonts, so you set them up on Seller, and then those fonts are available in both your primary and reserve website. So don't remove those fonts if you're using them already. So choose your base font, set up any specific fonts, and you can really enhance the look of your website.